Hi guys, just Payne here from No Pain No Gain Fitness. I'm just going to go over the last part in the video series, which is going to be fats. Okay, so we've already went over protein, carbohydrates, and now we're just going to be talking about fats and getting that out the way, and then obviously, hopefully then you've got a nice idea of all the macronutrients, where all our calories come from. So without further ado, I won't waffle on too much, we'll just get it straight to the point. Okay, so again, all calories come from three main sources called macronutrients. Macros consist of these three sources. Okay, so we've got carbohydrates, proteins, and today we're going to be talking about fats. Okay, so lastly is fats. There are good fats and not so good fats, and one you should avoid completely. So you may have heard, oh, there's good fat and there's bad fat. Well, it's true. There are fats that are healthier, better for you, but they're also essential to the body, required to absorb certain vitamins such as A, D, E, and K, which without fat your body can't absorb them. Other vitamins just absorb through water, whereas these require fat because they're fussy. Fats are high in calories, so need to be moderated strictly. So you don't need tons and tons of fat. You should have a pretty, low fat diet. It's not like, you need tons and tons of this stuff. So let's go over the types of fats. Okay, fats come in a few different forms. Okay, we've got monounsaturated, nuts and plant-based, polyunsaturated, which come from like fish, seeds, things like that, like sunflower oil. Okay, and these are what contain our omega-3, 6, and 9. So you've heard of these. These are the healthy fats. So these are the fats that we're going to be predominantly consuming. Then we've got hydrogenated fat, which is a man-made fat found in most junk food, like biscuits and stuff. Gives things a long shelf life. Really is bad for you. I'm going to be going over why it's so bad in a minute. Okay, so avoid them as much as possible because they're crap. Okay, I'll go into detail of what contains hydrogenated fat in a sec. And the last one is saturated fat. Okay, so like animal products, things like that. Okay, so poly and monounsaturated fats are what contain omega-3, 6, and 9s. Your healthy fats. Okay, so if you're not consuming much healthy fat in the form of like oily fish such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines, nuts, olive oil, avocado, natural peanut butter, not just normal peanut butter off the shelf because that's loaded with sugar and things like that, but you can buy from some specialist stores natural peanut butter which has got no sugar. It's literally just ground peanuts. It's nice as well. Okay, so if you're not getting enough of them, then look to include an omega-3, 6, and 9 supplement to your diet, okay? Because having these fats in your diet aid with fat loss and also offer anti-inflammatory benefits, as well as the other health benefits they contain, okay, which we'll get into in a sec. Okay, so you should be making an effort to include more of them in your diet, because it will help you with your weight loss. Also essential for optimal health, to decrease the risk of heart disease and stroke, which is good. Optimizes brain function, going to head a little bit faster. Optimizes brain function, nerve function, great for skin and hair. And you've got to also realize that it's still calorific though, so consume it in small amounts. Okay, you don't need loads of it. Okay, and the last one is saturated fat. Okay, so this is the evil one. What is it? Okay, so saturated fats are usually viewed as the worst and something that will give you a heart attack and make you die a slow and horrible death. Especially in the media and things like that, it's always vilified. But it does in fact have an essential part and role to play in the body. So that doesn't mean go and slap butter on everything though and eat cheese until you spew. Just means that they do have a role to play, but like anything else, too much isn't always a good thing. So the benefits include improved immune function, okay, so you're less likely to get sick. Improved nerve function. Every single nerve in the body is coated with a layer of fat. Healthy brain function. The brain is mostly made of fat. Bone health, so calcium, we can't absorb that without fat either. So, well, for optimal calcium absorption, we need fat. Okay, so you will absorb some, but if you're not getting enough, then you won't be absorbing it optimally. So that's what we're looking for. We want to be as healthy as possible. We don't want our bones getting weak as we get older, and we don't want our teeth falling out. Okay, there's some sources. We've got cheese, red meat, and coconut, like coconut oil, coconut milk, things like that. Contain saturated fat, but coconut oil's been seen as an like a superfood. It's actually helped with breaking down cholesterol and things like that. So it actually has a lot of health benefits. So not evil, okay? just got to be careful. Okay, you don't need to make an effort to get an adequate supply of these fats if you're already eating enough protein. Okay, so things like, you know, eggs, chicken breast, things like that. If you're eating enough of that, and even beef, red meat, then you don't need to go out your way and start, you know, having loads of butter here and there. Okay, you don't need to do that. Just you'll get enough of it if you just follow my other advice by eating protein with every meal. Okay, so use a small knob of butter to cook food in, and the same for coconut oil. Don't go OTT. You know, be smart. Just don't eliminate it altogether. Just moderate it. Now, here's the evil one I was on about. Okay, these are the man-made fats I was on about. Okay, so basically, this is the real evil fat. This is the stuff you really want to avoid. Basically, what this stuff is it's man-made. So basically, they'll get the oil from something, say olive oil, and then they'll put it in these big vats, okay, where it's then hydrogenized, and then basically it's all compressed and turned into a solid. So, you know, olive oil usually stands in like a liquid form at room temperature. It shouldn't be solid. So why is it solid when we're buying, like, you know, Olivio olive spreads that prove that, you know, say that, you know, it's proven to give you a healthier heart and this, that, and the other? It's all absolutely crap marketing propaganda that you need to really be on top of and just be clued up on. So the reason they do it is because it helps prolong the shelf life of products, whereas if you use normal fat like butters and things like that, that's going to go rancid a lot quicker. So doing this actually saves companies a hell of a lot of money and makes them a hell of a lot of money. So, you know, that's why it's there. Okay, so it's more cost effective than using things like butter, but it will clog the arteries and develops plaque that is very difficult to break down. So if just go back briefly to the carbohydrate video, if you watch that one, basically talked about simple carbohydrates, how quickly they enter the bloodstream. Well, basically what happens, all the vessels are going to be opening up in order to channel that through. And this stuff is usually mixed in with things like biscuits, which contain simple carbs like sugar. So the combination of the two, you've got the sugar opening up all the arteries, and then you've got all this sludging through. That to me goes hand in hand with the fact that people are suffering, you know, more from heart disease and things like that, and other, you know, similar related illnesses that's causing them to, well, die. I mean, a lot of people are dying from, you know, these illnesses. So when you combine the two, it is a lethal combination. So you want to be wary of it. Okay, so it is in most biscuits, cakes, muffins, low-fat spreads. Again, as mentioned, read the back of the packets. Just make sure that if you're getting anything like that, that it doesn't contain it. A lot of them will have on the front saying it doesn't contain any. A lot of them are starting to make changes now, because obviously of the widespread, you know, concern over, like, you know, people who are really suffering with the health. But unfortunately, these things that I've just mentioned are a staple in a lot of people's diets. So, you know, you've got to start making the changes. So always check the packet. So things like muffins, donuts, low-fat spreads, and fast food contains a lot of this as well. So trans fats, eliminate, eat very, very little. If you do crave something like a biscuit, cake, or anything like that, make sure that, you know, it's got butter in it and not this stuff. Just makes sense. Again, margarine's got it in, so just get it out. Really, really, really unhealthy. Okay, so rule of thumb: when eating fats on their own, a portion should be no larger than your thumb. Okay, so pun intended. Just remember that the meat that you eat, like the chicken breast and the beef and the other proteins, eggs, things like that, they contain saturated fat. Okay, that has fat in it, so you won't necessarily need to add more fat to a meal that's already got these in. Okay, nuts and peanut butter and cheese should only be consumed in this amount, this way, 2 to 3 times per day. So if you are having a snack like a protein shake, say, and an apple, and you want to add some fat to it, you would have no more than a portion the size of your thumb. Okay, so just a few nuts, a couple of teaspoons of natural peanut butter, or a little bit of cheese. That's, you know, you wouldn't have it more than that. Okay, just moderate. Okay, just a small piece of cheese. I don't mind people eating a little bit of that here and there. That's okay. Just don't go OTT. You know, remember the calories. you need to be careful. So cooking with butter or coconut oil should be moderated and measured with no more than 2 tablespoons. Okay. So fat contains the most calories per gram of all the macronutrients. Okay, so that's got 9 calories in it per gram, whereas protein and carbs, they've both got 4 in. So it's got twice and then some calorie wise. That's why we don't need as much of it, because it's very, very dense in calories. Okay. So in closing, don't be overwhelmed by the different types of fats. Okay, just know the potential dangers of hydrogenated fats in the diet. Again, get rid of them as much as possible. Consume a variety of mostly good fats. Okay, from our omega-3, 6 and 9s. Saturated fats you will consume enough of just by eating more protein. Okay, so if you follow my advice with that, eat more eggs, chicken breast and beef, you'll be laughing. Avoid hydrogenated fats. Again, can't get that through enough. And if you're not getting enough of your healthy fats, or even if you think you are, supplementing with one of these isn't going to cause any damage. Just give it a go. Add it in. Just pop one in the morning. Just stick it in your gob. It's nice and simple. And that's pretty much it. I mean, if there's anything else I can get in touch with or let you know about, then let me know. Hopefully those videos make sense and they're going to help you out. You can always go back, have a look over them again, and just master it and just know what you're doing, just so you know what's in your food and you know that a calorie isn't just a calorie. It's basically, there's a lot more to it. Okay, certain foods, as mentioned, affect us differently. Okay, with our insulin, our blood sugars, things like that. But obviously, I've already been over all that. So that's your protein, carbohydrates, and fats, all videoed, all summarized. And if there's anything else, there's my details. Okay, so that's everything. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Stephen Payne, No Pain, No Gain Fitness. See you later. Bye.